Welcome student in today's online section of subject refrigeration and air conditioning. Today we are going to see the pH and TS diagram of this vapor compression refrigeration cycle. Okay, so here we are starting. So in last section we see about this vapor compression refrigeration cycle and the various processes which are performed in this vapor compression refrigeration cycle. There are the four main processes: compression, condensation, expansion and evaporation, or the effects which produces refrigerating effect. These are the four important process. We need to show all these four important process on this pH and TS diagram. Here it is pH, and alongside we are having this temperature and entropy. So we need to show this vapor compression refrigeration cycle, this compression, condensation, expansion and evaporation. All these processes we need to show on this pH and TS diagram. So initially here we are going to see what is this pH diagram and what is contained in this pH chart. So in pH chart there is H4 enthalpy and this P4 is the pressure. This is the P is indicated on this y-axis and H is shown on the x-axis. You can see here this red curve. This red curve, it is the saturation curve. On the top of it, it is having a point which is critical point. On this left side of this, you see here saturated liquid line, and this is for saturated vapor line. Between these two, we have this wet vapor region. On above this, we have subcooled liquid region, and here we have superheated vapor region on the right side of the saturation curve. Okay, so initially tell me what is this saturated vapor. So saturated vapor are the vapors which can be condensed by a small change in its temperature are saturated vapor. And what is saturated liquid? This is the liquid which can be converted into the vapor by small addition of heat. It is termed as saturated liquid. And what is critical point? Critical point, it is the point at which all the three phases which are solid, liquid and vapor are coexist or exist at a same time. It is critical point. And what is this subcooled liquid? If we cool the liquid below saturation point, then this liquid is known as subcooled region. Similarly, if we heat the vapor above saturated vapor point or saturated temperature, then the vapor becomes superheated vapor. Here you can see H4 enthalpy. As we are going to add the heat inside this medium, is enthalpy increases. This is the line for this constant temperature line, this red lines, and this is the blue and red. These are the constant temperature lines. I will show you, we will study this in brief when we are going to solve this numerical on this pH diagram. Again, here you can see the critical point. It is the point where the saturated liquid in line okay. What is this critical point? Critical point, it is the point where saturated liquid line and saturated vapor lines merge into each other. Here you can see it is the critical point where saturated liquid line and saturated vapor line merge with each other. You may also call this point, critical point is the point at which all the three phases which are solid, liquid and gases are coexist with each other. Here we already showed you that this is the subcooled region on the left side. On the right side we have superheated region, and between this superheated vapor line and liquid line we have the wet vapor region. Here you can see. Now here we are going to see this basic concept of this TS chart. On TS chart we have temperature on the y-axis and S, which is entropy, on the x-axis. Here you can see this is the saturation curve. Here we are going to heat this solid and we convert this solid into liquid at a particular point. Okay, let us consider that we are having ice of minus 10 degrees centigrade. Just focus on my cursor. Suppose we are having ice of minus 10 degrees centigrade and we start increases temperature. Here you can see increase in the temperature. So when we start heating the ice, as the temperature increases, its entropy also increases, and after when this temperature of this ice comes to the 0 degree centigrade, then all the ice is get converted into the liquid. So this is the point where temperature becomes constant and all this ice will get converted into the liquid. Okay. Now this liquid, the temperature of this liquid water remains 100 degrees centigrade, though start increasing from 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree centigrade. Okay. Okay, listen to me. When this ice comes to the 0 degree centigrade, then beyond this 0 degree centigrade, its its temperature will not drop. At 0 degree centigrade, the temperature become constant until all the ice get converts into the water. And when at this point, what is happening? At this time, the temperature of water again starts increase. Again I am repeating this. Suppose we are having ice whose temperature is minus 10 degree centigrade. We start increase its temperature. When its temperature comes to the 0, then the temperature of the ice becomes constant and the ice starts melting. And as the ice starts melting, its entropy increases, but its temperature remains 0 degree centigrade until all the ice get converts into the water. And when all the ice get converts into the water, its temperature again starts increasing. You can see here. Okay, so this is the point which is saturated liquid, and this is the point which is saturated vapor. So here if you see, if the vapor at this very adjacent point, if we reduce its temperature slightly, then this vapor can be condensed into the liquid. That's why we called it as a saturated vapor line. And suppose the liquid at this very adjacent to this point, if we cool this liquid slightly, then it will be converted into the solid. That's why we called it as a saturated liquid line. Okay, yes, here. The heating where no phase change occurs, it is sensible heating. The heating where phase change occurs, it is latent heating. Again, superheating where the no phase change occurs. This H of F, it is the enthalpy of the fusion. This H of Fg, it is the enthalpy of evaporation, and this H of G, which is the enthalpy of the superheated vapor or superheated steam. Okay. Now here we are going to see this pressure enthalpy chart of this vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So here we already know this is the pH chart, and this is the saturation curve. Here on the left side we are having the saturated liquid line, and on the right side we have the saturated vapor line. Here we already show all the four components of this vapor compression refrigeration system: compressor, then condenser, then expansion valve, and the evaporator. This is the point 1 where this low pressure vapor comes in from the evaporator, and in compressor we are compressing them. So here you can see this 0.122, which is the process of compression, and in this compression process you can see here its pressure increases, and as the pressure increases, its temperature also increases and its enthalpy also increases. When at this point 2, this high pressure vapor refrigerant comes inside the condenser and comes to the point number 3 here. You all very much know that inside the condenser what we are doing, we are going to condense the high pressure vapor by reducing its temperature. So here at constant pressure there is a heat reduction takes place, and you know as heat is reduced, its enthalpy starts decreasing. So here from 2 to 3, here this process takes place in the condenser, that in process 2 to 3 this high pressure or superheated vapor are converted into the saturated vapor first, and then at point 3 it becomes the saturated liquid. Okay, then 3 to 4, it is the process of expansion valve. So here expansion of this gas takes place, and you know for expansion its pressure needs to be reduced. So here you can see 0.3 to 0.4, here is a drop of pressure takes place. So we can say it is the process of expansion takes place here. Then at this point 4, this liquid refrigerant comes inside this evaporator, and here in evaporator what is happening in evaporator, because of reduction in the pressure, the temperature of the liquid refrigerant also falls, and here when it enters in the evaporator, it starts to absorb heat from this evaporator area, producing the refrigerating effect, and because of absorption of the heat, the phase change of liquid refrigerant occurs and liquid get converted into the vapor. So here you can see this wet liquid when moving through this evaporator, and when it comes to the end point, at the end point this liquid is completely converted into the saturated vapor, and then this saturated vapor are again absorbed or compressed by the compressor by process 1 to 2, and the cycle continues here. Okay students, so here we are going to see the various types of this vapor compression system. I will show you this various types of this vapor compression system in the next section. Thank you. Okay, so in the next section we will see about these types of this vapor compression system, when will be the dry saturated vapor after compression occurs, or when will be the wet vapors are compressed, what will be their effects on these COP and refrigerating effect produced by the refrigerator, and there are the various situations which we are going to see that which will be occurs in the vapor compression cycle. I will teach you in the next section. Thank you.